Welcome back into A to Z with Mark Zinno. John Michaels in for Z. Once again, he'll be back from vacation tomorrow. I think he went to New York, had a chance to go to Yankee Stadium, brought the twins up there. Hope Zinno and his family, his wonderful wife and his kids and everybody are having a great time. He's a great dude, and I hope you guys subscribe right here to Locked On ATL. Again, smash the subscribe button and smash the like button on YouTube. And this segment of the program brought to you by our good friends at Coffee AM. Love to get your thoughts. If you want to hit me up at John Michaels U, what your thoughts are on Dansby Swanson. Is there a number associated with him that you potentially would want to keep the Braves shortstop for? I just wonder if anything north of $30 million or even 25 might price him out of Atlanta. Again, I hope not. SEC Media Day is coming up in 2 weeks, and I can't wait. I know there are people in our media conglomerate that go, oh my God, we're going to SEC Media Days. Who cares? It's boring. Is this that? For me, it signifies the start of football season. If I got a chance to talk to Marcus Spears and David Pollack and Rick Neuheisel and, you name it, all the coaches that'll be walking through there from the SEC, why would I not want to talk to these guys and really signify football? And then the week after that, we got Falcons training camp. So the dog days of kind of spring and summer when you're in the sports talk business, they're going out the window sooner rather than later, as obviously now you're going to have college football getting here. You're going to have pro football getting here. And everything else. Started thinking about college football. And, obviously everything that's going on right now continues to be, about realignment and who's going to go where. And yesterday we talked about teams that could come to the SEC. And then after we got finished with the podcast, right afterwards, there was this loose, and I don't even know what to call it, loose partnership between the Pac-12 and the ACC. And there may be some kind of conference championship game between the two conference winners. And then they were talking about, the Big 12 is going to raid the Pac-12, and they're going to take 4 to 6 teams, including the Arizona schools, and maybe Oregon and Washington want to go to the Big 10. Who knows? I really don't know. What I do know is a school like the University of Georgia would love to see a change philosophically in the SEC, potentially to go to 9 conference games, and then go to that 3-5-5 model that the ACC went to a couple of weeks ago, where it's going to be 3 permanent teams, and then you'll have 5 crossover teams, and you'll play each 5 at least twice every 4 years. So you'll do a home and home with the other 5 teams in the conference. And it'll be difficult once it gets to 16 or 18, and then who knows how the hell they'll figure that thing out at that point. But if you're Georgia, the reason I bring this up, listen to this nonsensical home schedule that they have in 2022. Open the year, obviously, with a neutral site, and I use air quotes when I say this, against Oregon at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It'll feel like a home game, but for the defending national champions, they would much rather be at Sanford Stadium opening up at home against Oregon. But again, they get the neutral site, the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. Love our guys at Chick-fil-A, but that's the game they get. They open the home schedule, Athens, Georgia, September 10th. Who wants to sit in red-hot Athens at 4 o'clock to watch them play Sanford? Not me. Not Stanford, but Samford. I believe Samford's out of Alabama. I'm not 100% sure, but that's neither here nor there. Their next home game after that, they get a road game against South Carolina. Should be fun. Noon kick, Columbia, September the 17th. You then go September the 24th, noon again, Athens, September the 24th against Kent State. Unless Antonio Gates is walking through that door, and I think he played basketball at Kent State, unless he's walking through that door, who the hell wants to, who knows what the Golden Flashes are all about? I read every preview magazine. I don't ever get to the Golden Flashes part of the preview magazine. October 1st, you then have a game at Missouri. So you've now gone the first month of the season without a relevant home game. Not one. 0. Think anybody else in the country is dealing with that? Where they don't have a relevant home game in the first month of the season? You're talking about the defending national champions. The defending national champions who do not have a home game that means a damn thing through the month of September and the first week of October. We'll get more of this conversation in just a moment, but a word from our good friends at Coffee AM. Coffee never tasted so good. It's Coffee AM, an Atlanta-based small batch coffee roaster that does a lot of great things. Brews some of the freshest and most beautiful coffee that you can have. It's the best small batch coffee roaster in America, and you can use the coupon code right now for 15% off all coffees, teas, and gift sets. It's pretty simple. Locked On. LOCKED on. Locked On. Go to coffeeam.com/locked on today and take a look at their full menu of coffees, teas, and gift sets at coffeeam.com/locked on. want to use the coupon code Locked On at checkout, and you're going to get 15% off your first order on coffees, teas, or gift sets. Again, Coffee AM, the best small batch coffee roaster in America. Going back to this ridiculous Georgia schedule and why I think they would like a change from the SEC and get some help there. So October 8th, their first meaningful home game, Auburn. Okay? Deep South oldest rivalry. Awesome. Love to see Auburn be in there. Auburn was 6-7. And they're probably having a coach in Brian Harsin who's on a hot seat right now that may or may not be back next year. Not a great game. Now Georgia fans are going to show up in full force, but there you go. You follow that up the following week. Vandy. And if you see the face, look at the face I'm making. It's October the 15th, and your home games have been Samford, Kent State, a rebuilding Auburn, and Vanderbilt. What in the blue hell is that? How am I paying 10 G's as a endowment or whatever it may be, a PSL, whatever they call it, to then be able to turn around and spend $150 a game to go watch that crap? October 29th, after your bye week, you go to Jacksonville to play Florida. Cocktail party's always down there. I understand it. Great, awesome, cool, all that good stuff. November, we're already to November 5th, and then it's your best home game of the year. You get Tennessee, which if there's a team that I think has a chance on this schedule to upset Georgia, pace of play with Josh Heupel, Hendon Hooker, I think he threw 3 interceptions the entire year last year with 34 touchdowns. There's your, if it's an upset type game, that could be it. Then you have road game at Starkville, road game at Kentucky, and you finish the year against a really bad Georgia Tech team. You have one good home game. So imagine you're a season ticket holder. And I don't have season tickets to Georgia, so I have no earthly idea what they cost. But you're a season ticket holder, and you're trotting that out, and you're asking people to plop down hard-earned money in a time where money isn't coming that smooth. This is where I say the SEC, and a lot of this is not Georgia's fault. You obviously take the neutral site game because you want the appearance and you want everything that goes on with being at Mercedes-Benz that opening weekend. And Oregon's a fun cross-country opponent. I would have much rather seen a home and home. Go to Autzen, have them come to Samford, have that work out. But you take the neutral site game. You already have a neutral site game against Florida. Well, because of the way the conference schedule plays out, your crossover games are Mississippi State this year. I get it. Mike Leach is fun. They throw the ball 6 million times. You struggled there a couple of years ago, but that's one of your crossovers. Your other crossover game is Auburn. You're never going to lose that game. So you don't get Ole Miss. Fun, Lane Kiffin, great matchup. You don't get Alabama. You don't get LSU. You don't get Texas A&M. So the 4 premier teams from the other side, you don't play them this year. The East is in disarray right now. South Carolina might be the second best. Maybe Tennessee is. You get South Carolina on the road. Again, this is just the way that the cookie crumbles in the SEC, and you get Tennessee at home. If you go to 3-5-5 or 3-5-6, whatever it may be, and think about every 4 years Alabama comes to Georgia. Every 4 years then LSU would come to Georgia. Every 4 years you get Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss at Georgia, and every 4 years Jimbo Fisher would come to Georgia. And then you would have those return games the following year. Think about how awesome that would be. Your 3 permanent games are probably Auburn, Florida, and I don't know what they would then do for the last game. I mean, it probably has to be Tennessee, but that becomes really difficult for Georgia if you get Auburn, Florida, and Tennessee. But those are the 3 most likely, the most historic rivalries for the team to have. And then you get a chance to play everybody else on a crossover. Do you maybe get rid of Auburn to keep South Carolina? Don't know. I doubt it. You get rid of Tennessee to keep South Carolina? I doubt it. But you would have those crossover games. These are things that have to happen sooner than later. As conference realignment all gets, discombobulated and put back together, and we ultimately end up with 70 or 80 of the top teams and no NCAA, I think there's an opportunity for Georgia to get a better home schedule. I know Kirby Smart would like to have another home game. I know he'd like to have another opportunity to show 93,000 plus people at Sanford Stadium going crazy. I know he'd like another opportunity for the national championship video to play. Those things would be nice. Zinno will be back tomorrow. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Locked On ATL. It's your boy John Michaels at John Michaels U. We'll see you later.